Today we're looking at bad combos that are actually good. Now, some of these were left in the comments section from my last bad combo deck, bad MTG combo video, and this one's pretty sweet. Reshape the Earth. Green, 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 6 generic sorcery. Search your library for up to 10 land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Now, there's no Valakuts in this combo. What we're gonna find are the guild gates. That's right. We need 10 guild gates on the battlefield, which includes mazes. Sorry, we're going to get 9 guild gates and then the Maze's End. Maze's End enters the battlefield tapped. Everything's going to enter the battlefield tapped. But next turn, you can pay 3, tap, return Maze's End to its owner's hand, search your library for a gate card, put it onto the battlefield, shuffle your library. Then if you control 10 or more gates with different names, you're going to win the game. It's a bad combo. It's not the most optimal combo, but it still works. Now, this is like a super combo enabler. We got Lich again, the black enchantment. Enters the battlefield, you lose life equal to your life total, which means if you got 20 life, you now have 0. You don't got anything, but you don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. How are we going to take advantage of this? We've got the Repay in kind, black, 5 generic sorcery. Each player's life total becomes the lowest life total among all players, and you got 0. You got 0, and you know what? You're gonna share the 0 with everyone else, except you got the Lich, so you don't have to worry about dying because you don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. You can't say the same about everyone else. All right, I would love it for all of you guys. Let me know your you got again with the music thing. Yeah, let's fix the music but you give me your suggestions for today's show. All right, the music. This isn't the regular Nikachu studio here. I'm out in Daytona Beach, Florida. All my settings get reset over and over again. Will Anderson. Thought Lash plus Thassa's Oracle. Instant win if you can spread out over 2 turns. I actually have this combo in my commander deck. So we look at Thought Lash. Underrated magic card. Turns out it's a reserve list card, so get them while they're like pretty worthless. Blue, 2 generic enchantment, cumulative upkeep. Remove the top card of your library from the game. And you probably don't care because in Commander you've got like 100 cards. So what? When Thought Lash's cumulative upkeep isn't paid, remove your library from the game, so you don't even lose on the spot right there. Remove the top card of your library from the game. Prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to you this turn. Now, what are we trying to make use out of this? We want to play with the Thassa's Oracle. I like these combos. This is an underrated combo, in my opinion. This Thought Lash protects you. You're not going to die when the Thought Lash is on the battlefield. And then it's enabler with Thassa's Oracle. You can just prevent the next 1 damage that's dead. You have to have a target. Remove the top card of your library from the game. Prevent the next one. No, just remove the top card of your library from the game. Exile your entire library. You slam that Thassa's Oracle. GG. The game is all over. If these combos see any competitive play, they're disqualified. They cannot see any competitive play. We got bad combos today. And frankly, I haven't won a tournament with this combo, so it qualifies. That's for sure. What else? Fool says, I wouldn't call this a bad combo, but it's really new. Braids and Arisen Nightmare and Stensia Uprising. Which Braids? I'm assuming Braids. You got to be specific, people, because I don't like... I'm assuming it's Cabal Minion, and then you have Arisen Nightmare. If it's not specific, if I don't know exactly what you're talking about, I'm skipping you. And then Stensia Uprising. There's 2 Braids. Okay, let's start it off. Maybe we'll work backwards with this particular combo. Red, 2 generic. At the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 red human creature token. Then if you control exactly 13 permanents, you may sacrifice this. When you do, it deals 7 damage to any target. That's not a lot of damage. Flex Seal will easily deal with that. Braids, Arisen Night. Oh, this one. Oh, it's totally Okay, forget the other Braids. But Braids Arisen Nightmare is its own card. We got black, black, 1 generic, 3/3. At the beginning of your end step, you may sack an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. So at the beginning of your end step, you may sack an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent has to sack a permanent. Otherwise, you're going to get the goods. And so what's the idea? At the beginning of your end step, create a human creature token. So you keep making creatures and you keep sacking them, and then you keep getting the value. That's a bad combo. I like it. Thank you very much. And Boulder with the super chat. Hope your vacation has been wonderful. Thank you so much for streaming. And today I go to Disneyland. Technically Disney Hollywood Studios. Anyone been? I'm going for the first time in like maybe 30 years. I think the last time I went to Disneyland was when I was like 6 or 5 or 7 years old. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. All right, Jackson says Rafiq of the Many and Finest Hour 9 mana vulnerable combo to kill 1 player in Commander. Done it many times before getting killed by the other 2 players. So we need to find Rafiq. Rafiq of the Many. And the Finest Hour. Finest Hour, blue, white, green, 2 generic. With Exalted, whenever a creature you control attacks alone, if it's the first combat phase of the turn, untap that creature. After the phase, there is another additional combat phase. Do we blink this thing? Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gets double strike until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, if it's the first phase, untap that creature. After this, there's an additional combat phase. I don't know how you really combo with this, though. Do you win? So it has Exalted. This has Exalted. Oh, it's a double striker. But it's only in 1-on-1. So you can deal... Oh, it's a legendary creature, so you can deal 20-ish damage? If I understand this? No. You deal double strike, you get an additional combat step. I think you can deal 20 damage, which doesn't kill, and it can kill someone in a 1-on-1, but on Commander, if I understand that correctly. Beanpot says, ride the kitty rides, if there are any. It's a good idea. Commander damage. I thought Commander damage is 21. I thought it was 21. This only deals 20. If I do, you do 6, 3, 1, and another +1. That's 5. Double strike will deal 10. You get 2 combat phases. Oh, you get the Exalted again because you haven't ended the turn. So you're going to get the Exalted again for both of them. Aha. So you'll actually deal 22 damage. Or did I do that one right? So you deal 10 the first time. You deal 12 the second time. I got it. Ooh, it's hard. You know what? Okay, got it. I got it. Rafiq of the Many Commander deck. PM Nikachu says, trying to figure out weird and bad combos is quality time. That's right. Half the battle is trying to understand how even the bad combo works in the first place. All right, Tommy Seddons with Solemnity and Decree of Silence. I know a lot of Solemnity combos, but I've never heard of one with Decree of Silence. Solemnity. Then Decree. Oops. Decree of Silence. Let's start with Solemnity here. The enchantment that says players can't get counters, and counters can't be put on artifacts, creatures, enchantments, or lands. And then we've got Decree of Silence, blue, 6 generic. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, counter that spell and put a depletion counter on Decree of Silence. If there are 3 or more depletion counters on Decree of Silence, sacrifice it. Whenever you cycle Decree of Silence, you may counter target spell. That is pretty sweet. So you put this thing in play, and you basically permanently counter anything an opponent does. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, counter that spell. And you'll never get a depletion counter because Solemnity says, no, not today. It's like a super Areo. Like Areo is like counter the first spell. This one just says you're countering every... I love this one. Oh, that's a sweet one, Tommy. This is a sick one. I love this very much. Okay, we've got Karibo with the super chat. Thank you so much. Is Torgaar, Famine, Incarcerate plus Hitsugu second right relevant here? Probably. Has anyone heard of the Hitsugu second right combo with Torgaar I haven't. It must be good for today's show. Hitsugu's second right. Where's the first right? Okay, what is even going on here? Okay, black, 6 generic. Maybe we should start with the first one. Hitsugu's second right says, if target player has exactly 10 life, it deals 10 damage to that player. So the key is we got to get them down to 10 life. How are we going to do it? Probably Torgaar, Famine, Incarcerate. Black, 6 generic for a 7/6 avatar. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature sacrificed this way. When Torgaar enters the battlefield, up to one target player's life total becomes half their starting life total, rounded down. Now, if it's commander, you're going to have to probably blink this thing once. Get it into play, they go to 20, do it again, they go down to 10. And then when they're at 10 life, before they know what's coming, you Hitsugu second right them to death. That's a sweet combo. Cooler King, with the super chat, thank you so much. Old school removal, Nettling Imp and Royal Assassin. Nettling, Royal Assassin, I think a lot of people know about. Nettling Imp, I don't think so. I don't even know what Nettling Imp does. Nettling Imp. Don't be nettling with me. Black 2 generic 1/1. Okay, I'm not even gonna read. I'm gonna read the Oracle text because when the card text starts with force a particular one of opponent's non-wall creatures, I know this is not gonna make any sense to me. So choose target non-wall creature the active player has controlled continuously since the beginning of the turn. Sounds like they didn't even update this text. That creature attacks this turn if able. Destroy it at the beginning of the next end step if it didn't attack this turn. Activate only during an opponent's turn before attackers are declared. And I suppose we're going to force them to attack. So you have one of 2 bad options. You either do nothing and let your opponent let the creature die, or you attack and then Royal Assassin says, you know what, you're dead anyway. Because tap, destroy target tapped creature. Sweet combo, Cooler King. We've got Jason, Bloodchief's Ascension, and Mind Crank. That's too well known. Everyone knows that one. Not even a bad combo. And then, we got Bloodchief's Ascension. Yeah, I'm not going to go through this one. Thanks for the suggestion, but we want bad combos on today's show. Like Midnight Gaunt, Presence of God. Midnight Guard, Presence of God. We all know about that combo. That's a common combo. Everyone knows that. It's a good one. I want bad combos here. Bad combos. Funny Decree of Silence has never been reprinted. Yep. Okay, we got Dead. Okay, a little bit of a brain twister. Treasure Hunt and Ruination Rioter. Treasure Hunt. Pretty sick card. And Ruination Rioter. If they're the only non-land cards in your deck and you mulligan until you have Treasure Hunts, it's a turn 3 kill potentially, maybe in some world, some way. All right, so let's start off with the Treasure Hunt. I actually like this card. It's contributed to a lot of just free, easy wins if your opponent does nothing. Blue 1 generic, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card. Then put all cards revealed this way into your hand. Then we got the Ruination Rioter, green and a red for a 2/2. When it dies, you may have it deal damage to any target equal to number of land cards in your graveyard. So I guess you mulligan to your Treasure Hunt, you play Treasure Hunt, then you have to discard the hand size, you play the Ruination Rioter, but then how do you kill it? You may have it deal damage. But if it dies somehow, you will win the game. That's all I'll say. You probably should have Thassa's Oracle backup or something. But it's a bad combo, and it's going to work. Thank you very much. Lloyd with the super chat. Glacial Chasm, Channel Hurricane. Okay, hold on. Glacial Chasm, which is, by the way, pay 2 life, cumulative upkeep, pay 2 life. When it comes into play, sack land. Creatures you control can't attack. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. But before we get into the sweet combo by Lloyd, we got to thank our sponsors. You love this. We love the sponsors, don't we? sponsored like FusionGamingOnline.com, the place I buy all my Magic cards. Slave deck boxes, everything. You can pre-order the Brothers War, and it supports the channel. When you support Fusion Gaming Online, you support Nikachu. It's good stuff. And deal of the week this week, I believe, is save 15% off old board games. Is there Monopoly? I know Monopoly is not a very popular board game, but whatever, it's one of my more favorite ones. If you don't count chess. Chess would be my favorite one. And when you shop at FusionGamingOnline.com, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu. Where is it? There it is. Coupon code Nikachu. Saves you an additional 5% off, and it also supports the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. You can rent any deck, any format, anytime you want. If you're afraid of something getting banned, Yorion just got banned. Who knows? Omnath could be coming up. You don't need to own the Omnath deck. You just need to rent the deck. And when Omnath gets banned, your cards don't get banned. Mana Traders cards get banned, and you can rent a new deck. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months subscription using coupon code Nikachu_RUE. And now back to the sweet combos. Okay, Glacial Chasm is supposed to become combined with creatures you control can't attack, but prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. That's the important part. You got to prevent all the damage. Then we have Channel. I don't know. Oh, I see what you use Channel for. Until end of turn, anytime. Where do you play this combo, though? I don't know where you play this combo. You have, like, nowhere to go. This doesn't look centered. There we go. I don't know where you play with this combo. Whatever. Okay, Channel in Hurricane. You spend all your life, or almost all your life, and then Hurricane everyone to death. Basically, pay 19 life, Hurricane everyone. And you're not going to get dealt damage because you're protected by the Glacial Chasm. This combo is so bad, it's not even playable unless all your friends agree to ignore all ban lists that exist. We got a Dark Star Ashura with Nestling Grounds, Out of the Tombs, and Mogozi. Oh god, this is a really long combo. Do I have to interpret this one? Okay, we've got pay 1, tap, move a counter from target permanent you control onto another target permanent, activate only as a sorcery. Out of the Tombs is the next card. Out of the Tombs, which says black 2 generic. At the beginning of your upkeep, put 2 Eon counters on Out of the Tombs, then mill cards equal the number of Eon counters on it. If you would draw a card while your card has no cards in it, instead return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So hold on. Okay, so you put Eon counters on this, and it says move a counter from target permanent you control into another target permanent. And then we want to play with Mogozi, which is the land. So we're going to move the Eon counters onto this damn thing. And then we can tap it, remove an Eon counter, and we can take an extra turn. And then there's Amulet of Vigor. Oh, I see. So you're going to play Amulet of Vigor so that it can come into play untapped. That combo is so terrible, but you are going to draw the extra cards. Oh, sorry, not you're gonna get the extra turns. Okay, what else do we got here? We got Horseshoe Crab plus Hermetic Study, bad combo. I don't even know what Hermetic Crab. No, Horseshoe Crab. Horseshoe Crab. There's a lot of these Horseshoe Crabs out here in Florida. You can find them on the beach, but they're dead at that point. Blue 2 generic 1/3. Pay a blue, untap Horseshoe Crab. But what else does it do? Hermetic Study. Is Horseshoe Crab like a big combo enabler? Because you can untap it for a blue. Enchanted creature gains tap. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So you can deal as much damage to a creature or player as you have blue mana on your Horseshoe Crab. Your opponents are just counting down. How much mana do you have? Do you have 40 lands in play to deal 40 damage? Okay, Calantairs, Mimic Vat, and Gilded Drake. I am familiar with both these cards, but not together like this. So Mimic Vat is pay 3 for an artifact. Whenever a non-token creature dies, you may exile that card. If you do, return each other card exiled with Mimic Vat to its owner's hand. Pay 3, tap. Create a token that's a copy of a card exiled with Mimic Vat. It gains haste. Exile at the beginning of the next end step. Oh, so you just constantly Gilded Drake. So it's like, what's it called? The Isochron Scepter for creatures is what you're telling me. You constantly steal stuff. Here's the battlefield, exchange control, and then they're gonna lose the Gilded Drake. So you make a Gilded Drake. Holy crap! This is really good. This is like a good combo that I've never heard of. Create a token that's a copy. So you create the token, you steal their creature, they get the Gilded Drake, and then you have to exile the Gilded Drake later. This card's insane. Gilded Drake is still giving. Swans of Bryn, Argyle, and Seismic Assault. Do you know what? This combo is so bad that people have tried it, and then the deck that tried it died, so. This card, Swans is just waiting to be broken in some way. It's a very unique card. Can be played in either white decks or blue decks. So you got a hybrid Azorius, 2 generic for a 4/3 flyer. That's not a bad beater. And if a source would deal damage to Swans of Bryn Argyle, prevent that damage, and its source's controller draws cards equal to the damage prevented this way. I guess the problem is it turns every Lightning Bolt into Ancestral Recall, including your opponents. It'd be even worse now because you can, like, what's it called? What's the card? Oh, what's that 6 damage spell now? Unholy Heat. It's the morning, people. I know it's a staple of Modern. I play against it every day, but, you know, names are very hard in the morning. Need more coffee, crew. Okay, anyway, so you could draw 6 cards now. That's crazy. Maybe this untap. Maybe more people should try this in Modern. Anyway, Seismic Assault. There have been decks built around this, where you discard a land, you target your Swans, you're drawing cards. You're drawing 2 cards every single time, and then you eventually draw your entire deck and then just throw all your lands at your opponent's face. That's how it works. Squirrel Nest in opposition. That's a good combo. Does not qualify. Trevor Peebles. Good morning from SLC, whatever the hell that is. Hope the weather is holding up. It's quite good. Sakura Tribe Scout, Retreat to Coralhelm, and Oboro Palace in the Clouds. How does this work? Okay, so you've got Sakura Tribe Scout. I know all these cards, but not in this combination. Green, you may put a land card from your hand into play. And then we have Retreat to Coralhelm. Is this just like a bunch of synergy? Landfall, you can tap or untap target creature. Oh! This is quite good. And Oboro. Oh, this is great. Okay, so Oboro is a land that you can pay 1 and return it to your hand. So here's the deal, though. Like when Oboro comes into play, you can just tap it self and return Oboro to your hand. So when the whole idea is step 1, get Sakura Tribe Scout, tap it, put Oboro in play, and then it's going to trigger Retreat to Coralhelm, so you can untap your Sakura Tribe Scout, and then with your Oboro, you put it back into your hand and rinse and repeat. You have infinite untapping, infinite land drops. This is a sweet combo. It's really somewhat complicated. Okay, how does this work? Shared Fate and Leveler. Okay, we go to the Leveler. It's going to level the library, people. That's what the Leveler does. It bulldozes your library down. When Leveler comes into play, remove your library from the game. And Pyre says we're going to play Shared Fate, so I'm assuming it happens to everyone else. Shared Fate, as the name says. If a player would draw a card, that player removes the top card of an opponent's library from the game face down. Instead, each player may look at and play cards he or she removed from the game with Shared Fate as though they were in his or her hand. This is a terrible combo. So you could end up... So you have your whole library in your hand. Well, I guess if you have like Omniscience, it's not a bad thing. Each player may look at and play cards he or she removed from the game. No, but only with Shared Fate. How does this work, if it works at all? And if a player would draw a card, that player removes the top card of his library from the game. Does this work? I don't think this does anything. I'm not sure it does anything. Okay, Pyre says you blow up your deck and then play with theirs. If a player would draw a... Oh, so you blew up your deck. They have nothing. So if a player would draw a card, that player removes the top card of an opponent's library from the game face down instead. So they have no deck to play with. Your opponent has nothing because you have no deck, and you're never going to draw off the top of your deck, so you never lose. You're drawing off the top of your opponent's deck from there on out. That's crazy. Oh, that's so crazy. It might work. Pyre, that's a nice one. I like it. Okay, Eric says, unrelated to MTG, you ever play GeoGuessr? I've never played GeoGuessr. Or I guess maybe once. I don't know. I've definitely played something where Google Maps shows me a random place and I have to guess it, and I guess horribly wrong. But thank you very much for the super chat, Eric. On my free time, I play a lot of chess and a lot of Fall Guys, and some Switch games. All right, I'm playing against people who bowl on Switch bowling, and damn, they're good. My rating is so high, everyone gets strikes. It's all a matter of who doesn't get infinite strikes. It's a poorly balanced game. They didn't put enough skill in it, in my opinion. Brian F with the super chat. Candelabra of Tanos. Several artifacts on the battlefield. You know it's a bad combo when you just say several artifacts on the battlefield. Tolarian Academy, Capsize with buyback. Is this really a bad combo? This is like a okay, so the whole idea is play Tolarian Academy. This is such a good combo that it's banned. Capsize. I know what this is before I look at it. Candelabra. Candelabra! Okay, we got pay 1 X, untap X target lands. And you can create infinite mana because you can untap your Tolarian Academy and you have a bunch of artifacts in play. And I guess the idea is you capsize. Let's say you have 10 mana. You add 10 mana with Tolarian Academy. Then you can bounce your you bounce the Candelabra back to your hand, replay it. Untap your Tolarian Academy, and then whatever, you just keep repeating this process for infinite mana. It's a pretty hard way to get infinite mana. It's not even a legal way to get infinite mana. You don't even have anywhere to play your Tolarian Academy. There's also, I think, very few places. Oh, actually, Candelabra of Tanos is legal in Legacy. The more I learn today. Did I miss a super chat up here? No, I did not. We've got Dio Brando, Hider, and Tunnel Vision. The hell is this? Okay, thank you very much for the super chat, but I don't know what Hider is, and neither does Scryfall. If you can give me the correct one, then we can look at it. All right, we got Chalupacabra, Platinum Angel, Wall of Blood, Repay in Kind. So Platinum Angel says you're not going to lose the game. Platinum Angel. You don't lose the game. Got Wall of Blood. Pump to no end, and then Repay in Kind. Oh, is this is another one of those. Each player's life total becomes the lowest life total among all players. That Repay in Kind is a hell of a card. I'm surprised it's not more expensive. It's been well, it got reprinted once, I guess. Pay all your life. Make this an infinitely large creature. The Wall of Blood. It's the blood way of things. Drops Gaming. Gonti's Ether Heart. Gonti's Ether Heart. Treasure Chest. And Kuresh. And or Rings of... That's okay, we'll go with Kirkesh. Sorry, Kirkesh. There's nothing wrong with how you did it. It's wrong with how I did it. And if you want to get really fancy, add... No, we're not going to get fancy. All right, we have a 4/3 creature. If you activate an ability of an artifact, if it isn't a mana ability, you can pay a red. And if you do, copy that ability. And so what's our artifact? Treasure Chest. Oh, God. It's one of these things. Pay 4, sack a treasure, roll a d20. You can either roll 1... Target, you lose 3 life. You either going to roll 2 or 9, create 5 treasure tokens, 10 or 19. You gain 3 life, draw 3 cards, and then 20. Search your library for a card. If it's an artifact card, you may put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put that card into your hand. So you can double this, and then Gonti's Ether Heart. Whenever Gonti's Ether Heart or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you get 2 energy. Pay 1 billion energy. Take an extra turn after this one. Do we combine this one? Whenever you activate an ability, So we can copy this. I don't know what this is for, though. Create 5 treasure tokens, but you need energy here. Whenever Gonti's either or another artifact. Oh, you got more artifacts. So you get a bunch of artifacts, and then ideally you double the artifacts, and then you can keep using Gonti's either heart. I think this is, I don't know if this is infinite or if it's just highly probabilistic, but interesting combo. Tetra Timbo Man with the super chat. Thank you so much. Immortal Coil, Bazaar Trader. Immortal Coil. Where'd I go? Bazaar Trader. And we have Leyline of the Void. How does it all work? So that you can respond to coils you lose by trade or opponent as long as you have no yard. They lose first turn. All right, so step 1, Leyline of the Void. They've got no graveyard. That's the point. Bazaar Trader. Target player gains control of target artifact, creature, or land you control, and you want to give them the Immortal Coil. Remove 2 cards in your graveyard from the game, draw a card, but if damage would be dealt to you, prevent that damage. Remove a card in your graveyard from the game for each 1 damage prevented. When there are no cards in your graveyard, you lose the game. Ah, that is the secret. You can almost combo off with just Leyline of the Void and then this damn thing, and you just donate it to them. And if you got no cards in your graveyard, you're toast. It's over. This is interesting. I never heard of this card before. It's so bad it might work. We have Eric Torres. Thank you very much. Blistercoil Weird, Paradise Mantle, and cantrips equals Storm. Blistercoil. And what? Every single cantrip? Paradise Mantle. And then, let's say Gataxian Probe. That's a cantrip. Or actually, hold on. Let's maybe better is like Brainstorm. Brainstorm. Green Needle. You guys here? Do you hear the Brainstorm or the Green Needle? I hope you all know what I'm talking about. All right. So this is whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Untap it. And then you get to tap, add a mana with this thing. So you basically have infinite mana, and so long as you can keep digging through your deck with Brainstorms and Ponders and Serum Visions, hopefully you can keep this train going for basically eternity. Make your Blistercoil Weird a 20/20 creature and then get in there for victory. Or maybe you can find a way to sack the damn thing. Just fling it at somebody, right? Oh, and Brian F actually has a variation of this Immortal Coil combo. Immortal Coil, donate. Oops, donate. And then just Tormod's Crypt someone at the end. I think that's very acceptable. I am surprised. I've never heard of this card. Is this like a popular commander card? I have never heard of this card, but it seems good. Tetra says Brain Needle. Green Storm. Never heard of it. Okay, Calantera says, make the most anonymous card ever. Play Lotus Bloom, have Glorious Anthem, Karn's Touch, use Nurok Transmuter's second ability on it, cast Moonlight. Okay, honestly, that's too many cards. So if anyone knows this combo, that's great. But too many cards for me. I'm going to set the bar at 4, please. Okay, this one has Mind Over Matter, so I love it. Brad J with Mind Over Matter. Quicksilver Dagger. And any creature. All right, I choose Curse Catcher. This better work with any creature. Curse Catcher, I choose you, because you're within the color pie of Mind Over Matter. Okay, how does this work? Choose and discard a card, tap or untap, target artifact, creature, or land. Quicksilver Dagger says, enchanted creature has tap. This creature deals 1 damage to target player. You draw a card, and you just enchant the thing onto a Curse Catcher. And so for every card that I draw, I'm going to untap my little Curse Catcher that has the Quicksilver Dagger and deal infinite damage. Just don't kill my creature, please. Don't touch my creature. Trevor Peebles. No Pebbles here with the super chat. Bootleggers Stash, Clock of Omens, and Grindclock. Pray you never hear it chime. Bootleggers Stash, Clock. Glacial stash. Lands you control have tap, create a treasure token. And Grindlock. The grind. Oh, it's Gridlock? Oh, Grindclock. Grindclock. There we go. So hold on. So, okay, lands you control have tap, create a treasure token. Isn't that card broken? That sounds broken, but it's 6 mana, so like, you know, whatever. Clock of Omens. Tap to untap artifacts you control. Untap target artifact. Doesn't do anything here. But then we have Grindclock. Pay 2 for an artifact. Put a charge counter on Grindclock. Tap, target player puts the top X cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard, where X is the number of charge counters on Grindclock. How does this work? Put a charge counter on Grindclock. So tap to untap artifacts you control. Untap target artifact. So the idea is you just put a bunch of these treasures. You have a bunch of artifacts, and then you tap them to build up your Grindclock. I think that's it. Pray you never hear it chime. Won't get you one turn, but it will get you eventually. It will get you eventually. Brian F with the super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. I will show this, but this is not that bad of a combo. Pilla. Okay, you know what? We're gonna call it a bad combo because like no one really plays this thing. Grand Architect. Sorry to the mono blue Grand Architect players out there. The idea is it's got the ability, pay a blue, target artifact becomes blue until end of turn, so you can make Pilla blue. And then you can tap an untapped blue creature you control, add colorless. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. You get infinite mana with the Pilla, because you can tap the Pilla for a blue, then pay the 2. Well, how does this work? Tap an untapped blue creature. Oh, so yeah, you tap the Pilla, which you made blue. And then you get 2 generic mana. Then you can pay the 2 generic to untap it. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. And that's that 1 extra mana. That's infinite. That's the extra mana. You netted a mana there. That 1 extra mana that it made. You have infinite mana. So you spend it on anything. Spend it on Walking Ballista. Spend it on somebody at the corner store. Get yourself a Coke. Witherfang says, it's actually a very stable bad combo. A lot of these things, they work. Hey, it's all about them making work. Are we supposed to be doing bad combos? Yes, bad combos that actually work, but it's got to work. Okay, Michael says, I know it was a while back, but Chain of Plasma and Conflagrate with Swans. The Chains of Plasma sounds disgusting. Chains of Chain of Plasma. Scryfall is so picky sometimes. Red 1 generic, Chains of Plasma. Deals 3 damage to target creature or player. It's an instant. Then that player or that creature's controller may discard a card from his or her hand. If the player does, he or she may copy the spell and may choose new targets for the copy. So I'm guessing you target the Swans? You can always draw. You're gonna draw tons of cards. So you like basically draw your deck, and then you say do something with Conflagrate. Oh, so you can pay 1 red, dump it into the graveyard, then you flash it back, discard like a billion cards in your hand because you drew a billion cards, and you one-shot your opponent. Works perfectly. Will be an awkward commander card because you probably can kill 1 person. That's about it. And but some of you are like, okay, my job is done. That's it. I got one. I got one with this week. How many of you are like that? You just want to kill off 1 person in commander. You don't even care if you win. And then everyone else gets upset at the table. You're not even trying to win. I don't care, man. I just got you. That's all that matters. There's a lot of you out there that are like that. I know, because I play against people like that. Dio Brando, Hinder plus Tunnel Vision. Hinder. Blue 1 generic. Counter target spell. If that spell is countered this way, put that card on the top or bottom of its owner's library or into that player's graveyard, and then Tunnel Vision. Gonna mill it. Name a card. Target player reveals cards on the top of their library until the name card is revealed. If it is, that player puts the rest of the revealed cards into his or her graveyard and puts the name card on top of his or her library. Otherwise, the player shuffles his or her library. How does this work? Okay, so we name a card. Target player reveals cards on the top of his or her library until the... Oh! Okay, so this one says, counter target spell. If that spell is countered this way, put that card on the top or bottom of its owner's library instead of into its player's graveyard. So what, I get to choose that? So I choose bottom. I'm going to put your Isochron Scepter on the bottom that we tunnel vision. We name Isochron Scepter. And we reveal all the cards. If it until the name card is revealed. If it is, that player puts the rest of the revealed cards into their graveyard. Same card on top of their library. And you have one card left on top of your library. Good luck with that Isochron Scepter. Yeah, you can have that silence combo now. Go for it. It's poor and pathetic and useless now. Yeah, put a card with Hinder on the bottom. Tunnel vision to the card. Okay, what do we got here next? We've got, tons of super chats. Dylan with the super chat, thanks so much. Has anyone said Terror of the Peaks, Bergi, God of Storytelling, and Grinning Ingus? That, I think, sees play in Pioneer. I don't know why you have extra steps to this, because it's like Bergi and Grinning Ingus is enough, right? Like, Grinning Ignis. That's a combo, right? Return, pay red, return it to its owner's hand, add colorless, red, activate only as a sorcery. And Bergi says, I think it's the second, whenever you cast a spell, add a red. Till end of turn, you don't lose this mana steps and phases end. Can't remember if you need the front side or the back side. Exile the top two cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. Actually, this is not working the way I want it to work. Whenever you cast a spell, okay, it can be any spell. Add a red. Pay a red. Return it. Oh, okay, so you cast the spell, you get a red, you pay the red, you get this, and then you can recast the spell. So you cast infinite things. We have Terror of the Peaks. Terror of the Peaks. Flying spells your opponents cast that target Terror of the Peaks cost an additional 3, but whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. All right, so you got infinite damage. So I don't know what the God of Storytelling... Oh, sorry. Bergi is the God of Storytelling. It's a 3-card combo. When there's a comma in the name of the card, I think like you guys are giving me extra cards or something. Lloyd with the super chat. Grazing Bladeheart, Fastbond, Simic Growth Chamber. What is the Grazing Bladeheart? And Witherfang just wants to remind everybody, as long as I can make it miserable for everyone around the table, I've done my job. Win or lose, I don't care. So you're one of those people. The Grazing Bladeheart. Green 2 generic landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you can gain 2 life. We got Fastbond. Oh, infinite life combo. So Fastbond, green. You can play any number of lands on each of your turns. Whenever you play a land, if it wasn't the first land, it'll deal damage to you. That's okay, because all additional lands are going to get net you 2 life. So you pay 1 life, gain 2, you netted a life. And then with Simic Growth Chamber, we got Simic Growth Chamber here, enters the battlefield tap, and when it enters the battlefield, you have to return a land back to your hand. You'll just return the Simic Growth Chamber, so you replay Simic Growth Chamber an infinite number of times. You deal infinite damage to yourself, but you deal double, so you gain double infinite life, so it cancels out the infinite damage. For any math majors out there, if I have 2x positive infinity, am I gonna have in the end just... If the equation is 2x positive infinity subtract infinity, do I in the end have just infinity? I took a lot of math in school, but I never dealt with infinity before. I just know infinity as a concept. Works in Magic too. Spore Frog and Abiding Grace. Simple but effective combo. Spore Frog. I haven't seen any frogs here in Florida. I don't know if there are any. Abiding Grace. There's turtles. There are sea turtles here. Pick 2 generic at the beginning of your end step. Choose 1. You gain a life. Or return target creature card with mana value 1. It's free graveyard to the battlefield. And is that the beginning of every turn? Beginning of your end step. Oh, it's only your end step. But it's an end step nonetheless. Sack it and prevent all the damage dealt by your opponent. So if they are only a creature-based deck, they can't beat this. I have lost to similar combos like this before. Combos where they sack the Spore Frog and they just regurgitated it back onto the battlefield. And it's quite pathetic that I can't beat it. Such a simple spell. The Cooler King. Browse and Soldevi Digger. What is this? Okay, Soldevi Digger for 2 mana, pay 2. Put the top card of your library on the bottom of... Put the top card of your graveyard on the bottom of your library. Okay. And then browse. Blue, 2 generic. Again, activated ability is the same. Blue, 2 generic. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand. Remove the rest from your... Remove the rest from the game. Look at the top 5 cards. I don't get it. Because this puts it on the bottom. Put the top card of your graveyard on the bottom of your library. And then you're going to exile everything? Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Then put one of them into your hand. Remove the rest from the game. This makes no sense to me. Absolutely none. Infinity minus infinity doesn't always equal infinity. Well, infinity minus infinity sounds like it will equal 0 in my opinion. Infinity minus infinity is infinity. Oh, okay. We got the math majors in the house. Someone has to know math. Someone has to have played with infinity before. Any infinite mana combo in Helix Pinnacle. Okay, I'll put that. I'll put the Helix Pinnacle. Helix Pin. Does anyone know how this one works? Am I getting trolled here? Or maybe it was a different Soldevi card? For the top card of your graveyard, I don't know how this works. Helix Pinnacle. Shroud. Put X tower counters on Helix Pinnacle, and at the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 10 or if there are 100 more tower counters on Helix Pinnacle, you win the game. I like that suggestion. Create an infinite mana combo, and then combo it with Helix Pinnacle, and you win the game. Nickel says, depends which one approaches infinity faster. Ooh, that is interesting. There are many types of infinity. Infinity to the power of 2 will lose to infinity to the power of 4, perhaps? Not a math major here, so don't... I don't know anything. I'm sure the comment section... I'm gonna get all these weird comments in the comment section that I just don't understand. But someone's gonna give me a proof. What happens? 2 times positive infinity, subtract infinity. Give me some answers here. All right, Francis. Risen Reef plus Parcel Beast mutated onto a Scoot Swarm. Okay, so let's get the Parcel Beast. Well, this sounds like a disgusting combo. Anything with Scoot Swarm is usually very unfair, and then we have to play with Risen Reef. Play a nasty combo with a lot of triggers. I don't like players playing with a lot of triggers. It usually sucks up a lot of time, and you might as well just scoop when it looks bad. Mutate for a blue and a green. Okay, whatever. Pay 1, tap. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. If you don't put the card on the battlefield, put it into your hand. So you basically artificially creating a... You're artificially creating a Risen Reef here. Scoot Swarm, landfall. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. If you control 6 or more lands, create a token that's a copy of Scoot Swarm instead. And then Risen Reef. So you just basically have two shots at this. But there's no way to untap this. No proven way to untap it. And with Risen Reef, you just have a million triggers. It's going to go big. It's going to go big. And we got a super chat here from Samaref Stream. Thank you so much. Terror of the Peaks and Metalwork Colossus to cast for 0 plus Witch's Oven. So we're going to play Terror of the Peaks. Seen that one before. Metalwork Colossus. And then Witch's Oven. Something getting sacrificed here. And it ain't no cat. Okay, we know Witch's Oven. Pay 1, tap, sack a creature, create a food token. If the sacrifice's creature's toughness was 4 or greater, create 2 food tokens. Why not? And then what are we doing with Terror of the Peaks? Okay, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. And then we're going to use Metalwork Colossus. Cost X less to cast, where X is the total converted mana cost of non-creature artifacts you control. Sacrifice 2 artifacts, return it from your graveyard to your hand. So you want to play this for 0, deal a ton of damage, and then you want to sacrifice it so that you can bring it back. That will kill him. That will kill him. Can you do that infinite times? Something like that. I don't know about infinite times, but eventually you'll make it work. You'll make it work. You'll get him. We've got EQQAIA. Sorry, that's very hard to pronounce your name. Famished Paladin. You know it's a bad combo when... Never heard of the name of any of the cards. Source's Wand. Is it Sorcerer? Oh, it's Sorcerer. I think it's Sorcerer's Wand. And either Sorin. Oh, okay. Well, Sorin Vengeful. How does this work? We gotta go back. We gotta look at the Famished Paladin. White 1 generic for a 3/3 creature. Doesn't untap during your untap step. When Famished doesn't untap, well, that sucks. Whenever you gain life, untap it. All right, so that's some good news. Then we got Sorcerer's Wand. Equipped creature has tap. This creature deals 1 damage to a creature or player, planeswalker. But if it was a wizard, it deals 2 damage to that creature or planeswalker instead. And this, of course, is a vampire knight, so that doesn't matter. This creature deals 1 damage to a player or planeswalker. This is terrible. So how does this work? Okay, as long as it's your turn, creatures and planeswalkers you control have lifelink. Aha! So you're gonna deal the life. You're gonna deal damage, gain life, and whenever you gain life, untap the Famished Paladin. God, these cards are terrible, but when they come together, I love the cards. They're so garbage individually by themselves, but then when you get the whole system together, it's all over. Gain life. Just need the static ability on Sorin. Steve M with the super chat. Thank you so much. Arcane Adaptation, naming zombie. Arcane Adaptation. So everything's a zombie. Cabal Paladin. And then a Liliana. Oh, Liliana untouched by death. Liliana untouched by death. You need a Stonecoil Serpent too? Good God. Hey, there's a ton of... You guys have to have the live chat on to see all the cool combos people are making. I mean, we got tons of these sweet ones. Stonecoil Serpent. Okay, so we have... How do we start this one off? Okay, Arcane Adaptation, we're naming Zombie. We're naming the Zombos. And Cabal Paladin says, whenever you cast a historic spell, deals 2 damage to each opponent. Okay, that's good. Then we're going to -3. You can cast zombie cards from your graveyard this turn. And you're going to cast a Stonecoil Serpent for 0. Nothing. It is a zombie. It's in the graveyard. You can play it for 0. Enters the battlefield, dies instantly. That's okay, because whenever you cast a historic spell, which is an artifact, it's going to deal damage to the opponent. And they're going to die a horrible death. Got to give a shout out to some of these combos here. There's still a lot of super chats to look through, but Tibbo has Murderous Redcap, Quill Spike with Phyrexian Altar. We've got Kalanteras with the Werewolf Pack Leader, Shields of Velis Veil, Artificial Evolution, and Embiggen. Caleb Popo with the Hakon, Stormgald, Scourge, Maskwood Nexus, Blood Artist, and Walking Ballista. I think we gotta get to a point where I just want to give a shout out to some of your awesome combos, because the super chats are taking precedent here. They're taking over. Energizer, Parcel Beast on Scoot Swarm triggers. Parcel Beast? Hold on. Parcel Beast on Scoot Swarm triggers Risen Reef. So there's something else I missed here. So when I mutate, Parcel Beast on Scoot Swarm triggers Risen Reef. I don't get it. What am I missing here? If Risen Reef or another elemental enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. Yeah, well, I mean, this pay 1, tap, look at the top card of your library. If it's land, put it onto the battlefield. Yeah, then it will trigger the Risen Reef. If you don't put the card onto the battlefield, put it into your hand. So it triggers the Risen Reef. Oh, or is this, you're putting this new one. This is like a new combo. Because we actually got this combo earlier. On top of a Scoot Swarm. But yeah, it works. It's good value. It's very, very good value. Oh, this, you know what? This is a terrible combo. I just don't see often enough. Biovisionary. Bite of Replication. So Rite of anyway, Biovisionary is this 2/3 that says at the beginning of your end step, if you control 4 more creatures named Biovisionary, you win the game. That's not too hard. Because you can just replicate it like crazy. Rite of Replication. Create a token that's a copy of target creature, and if you kick it for an extra 5 mana, a total of 9 mana, create 5 of those treasure tokens instead. Cool stuff. On the copies become parcel beasts? What the heck? Oh, is that how it works? The copies become parcel beasts. Scoot Swarm. You control 6 or more lands, create a token that's a copy of Scoot Swarm. Oh, so is that the super combo? You create a copy of Scoot Swarm, which is a copy of Parcel Beast, and then you have a million of these elementals out. And then every time you hit a landfall, you get another Parcel Beast, which triggers Risen Reef, which will probably get more lands in play. Oh, that's crazy if that's how this works. It's also disgusting. I wouldn't want to be the opponent on... I'd probably just scooped all the triggers. It's like, I'm never going to have another turn, and I'm probably not going to beat all these triggers, so might as well just resign to the triggers. Who else resigns to the triggers out there? All right, okay, that's 50 triggers. We can move on to the next game. Thank you very much. It's an alternative way of winning the game. Either, mill your opponent out, or win the game through commander damage, or deal the damage, combo off, or just assemble like 50 triggers on the stack. It's good enough. J. Rafal, Relic Golem, Tend the Pests, and Mystic Reflection. Tend the Pests? Those damn pests! Get out of my way. And then Mystic Reflection. What we're going to copy, I won't know. So we look. Okay, Mystic Reflection is choose target non-legendary creature the next time one or more creatures or planeswalkers enter the battlefield this turn. They enter as copies of the chosen creature. You can also foretell this, but so we're going to, I guess, copy the Relic Golem. Can attack or block unless an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. You could also pay 2 tap, target player mills 2 cards, and then Tend the Pests. Green-black as an additional cost to cast a spell. Sack a creature. Create X/1/1 black and green pest creature tokens with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. Create X/1/1 black and green pest creature tokens with, when this creature dies, essential cost to cast the spell, sack a creature. So we're sacking this one. Okay, so we're going to target the Relic Golem, and then we're going to play Tend the Pests, create X, then we're going to make X Relic Golems. And you can pay 2 tap mill, but I don't know how we go infinite with this. Create X/1/1 black creature. I don't get it. I don't get it. Help. I need help. Sacking a 6/6 makes 6/6/6 pests? I guess so. I guess that's what it's gonna do. I guess that's the idea. And your opponent still can't attack. But you still can't attack unless your opponent has enough cards in hand. But whatever. Thank you very much for the bad combo. Brian F. with Volrath's Shapeshifter. If I'm missing something, just let me know in the chat afterwards. Volrath's Shapeshifter. And then Eater of Days. You make 6 of anything? Sack a creature, create X, where X is the creature's power. It makes 6 relic golems for cheap. That's what, yeah, this is the best I understand it. Anyway, excellent stuff. Eater of Days, a 9/8 flying trample. When it comes into play, you skip your next 2 turns. Well, that's bad, but then we've got Volrath Shapeshifter. As long as the top card of your graveyard is a creature, Volrath Shapeshifter has the full text of that card and has pay 2, discard a card. So you can pay 2, discard a card. Flying trample. So you can just, what you want to do is copy the Eater of Days. Let's create a 9/8 flying trampler. Alrighty then. That's pretty bad. Give a shout out to some of these combos. The Buried Alive combo. The Sacking 6/6s. No! No, not yet. We're not done yet. Urborg. Okay, Lloyd, super chat. Thank you so much. Urborg. Oh no, not this one. Not the OG. The newer one. Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth. Everything is a swamp. Oh, and then you're gonna Mind Bend. This doesn't work online. I've tried to play with cards like Mind Bend. They all don't work, and it sucks. So change the text of target permanent by replacing all instances of one color word with another basic land type or another. So you can change swamp to island, and then you slam the choke on them. Hey, you didn't think you had islands, huh? And then you can do the same thing with like Boil and stuff like that. But it's going to affect your lands too. Remember, Urborg hits your stuff as well. So don't think that you're invincible here. I hope I didn't miss any super chats. I think we got them all. And it was a great show, people. It was a great show. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm on vacation. We got to keep doing this, even though I'm on vacation Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thank you so much for the support, the super chats, everyone becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate it, and makes, I can't miss a day because of it. And thank you, everyone, for being a part of the show, making the show as special as it is. Okay, super last one. Here's for the coffee combo. Have fun today. Thank you so much. And the true combo is you guys showing up every morning, because without all you, I would have no show. I'm just a host of the show. You guys are the show. So be prepared for the greatest combo. This show plus your coffee. Keep brewing up those coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you